There is a quiet moment every evening when the world slowly transitions from light into darkness. The sun fades beyond the horizon, colors disappear from the sky, and silence begins to take over. For many people, darkness feels uncomfortable. It represents uncertainty. It hides what we cannot see, and it reminds us how small we are in the vast universe. But if we look up, something extraordinary begins to appear. One by one, tiny lights emerge across the night sky. Stars. They were always there, burning billions of kilometers away, shining with unimaginable power. Yet during the day, we rarely notice them, not because they stop shining, but because the brightness of the sun hides their light, and only when darkness arrives do we finally see them. The universe reveals something profound through this simple truth. Sometimes, light is only visible because darkness exists. Without night, the beauty of the stars would remain unseen, and perhaps life follows the same mysterious pattern. There are seasons in life when everything feels bright and clear. Dreams seem possible, the future looks promising, and the path forward feels illuminated. But there are also moments when darkness enters our lives. Moments of failure, moments when our plans collapse, moments when we feel lost in uncertainty. And in those moments, many people begin to believe something is wrong with them. But what if darkness is not a sign that light has disappeared? What if darkness is simply the moment when our true light has the chance to appear, just like the stars above us? So before we fear the darkness in our lives, perhaps we should look at the night sky again, because every star we see tonight is proof of something remarkable. Light does not disappear in darkness. It becomes visible, and maybe the same truth is waiting to be discovered within us. If you look at a star in the night sky, it may appear small, quiet, and distant, but in reality, a star is one of the most powerful creations in the universe. Deep within its heart, a silent storm of energy is constantly unfolding. Atoms collide, light is born, and immense energy is released into the darkness of space. A star does not shine because the universe is easy. It shines because, within its core, there is a fire that never agrees to stop burning. And perhaps this is the first lesson the stars offer us. True light is not created by comfort. It is created by pressure, struggle, and endurance. In the vast universe, nothing brilliant is born without intensity. Diamonds are formed under pressure, mountains rise through the movement of the earth, and stars ignite through unimaginable forces. Greatness, it seems, has always been a child of difficulty, and human life is no different. Every person carries a hidden fire within them. A fire of dreams, a fire of courage, a fire of purpose, but like the core of a distant star, this fire is often invisible from the outside. People may look ordinary, quiet, unnoticed, yet inside them, entire galaxies of strength may be waiting to awaken. Life has a strange way of revealing this hidden power. When everything is easy, the inner fire sleeps. But when challenges arrive, when the road becomes uncertain, when the night grows long, something remarkable begins to happen. The fire begins to rise, because hardship has a mysterious ability. It does not always destroy us. Often, it reveals us. It shows us how resilient the human spirit can be. It teaches us patience when the journey becomes slow. It teaches us courage when fear whispers loudly. And it teaches us perseverance when the world seems to stand against us. Just like the stars, our light is not measured by how bright the day is. It is measured by how faithfully we continue to shine in the night. A star never waits for permission to shine. It does not ask if the universe is watching. It simply fulfills its nature: to burn, to give light, to exist with purpose. And perhaps this is the quiet wisdom hidden in the sky above us. The stars remind us that darkness is not an enemy. Darkness is the canvas where light becomes meaningful. So if life ever brings you into a season of darkness, remember the stars. They do not fear the night. because they know something most of us forget. The darker the sky becomes, the more clearly the light can be seen. Throughout history, there is a pattern that quietly repeats itself. Some of the most extraordinary human stories did not begin in moments of comfort. They began in darkness, in uncertainty, in hardship, in moments when the future seemed impossible to see. And yet, it was precisely in those moments that something remarkable emerged. Human beings began to shine. When the world becomes easy, we often move through life without discovering who we truly are. Comfort can hide our potential. Routine can silence our courage. But difficulty has a strange power. It asks questions we cannot ignore. It forces us to look deeper into ourselves. And in that search, we often discover strengths we never knew existed. History remembers people who changed the world, but their stories rarely began with victory. They began with struggle, with rejection, with long nights of doubt. Yet something within them refused to surrender, not because they were fearless, but because their inner light was stronger than their fear. The universe seems to follow this same principle. Stars are born in darkness. Seeds grow beneath the soil before they ever see the sun, and the dawn always arrives after the longest part of the night. Perhaps life is reminding us of something important. The moments we fear the most may also be the moments that shape us the most, because darkness has a way of revealing character. It shows who we become when no one is watching. It reveals whether we choose despair or whether we choose to keep moving forward. And the people who shine the brightest in life are rarely those who never faced darkness. They are the ones who walked through it and refused to let it define them. They carried their light carefully through the storm, step by step, moment by moment, until one day, their story became a light for others, just like the stars above us. A single star may seem small in the vast sky, but for someone lost in the night, one light is enough to guide the way. And perhaps that is the deeper meaning behind every challenge we face. Maybe our struggles are not only shaping our own lives, maybe they are preparing us to become a light for someone else. Because in the end, the universe does not remember how bright the day once was. It remembers the lights that refuse to disappear in the night. And sometimes, those lights are human. When we look at the night sky, we often feel small. Billions of stars scattered across the universe, each one burning with unimaginable power. And in comparison, a human life may seem tiny, fragile, brief, almost invisible in the vastness of time. But the universe has a quiet way of reminding us that size is not what defines light. Even the smallest star can illuminate an entire night sky. And in the same way, even the smallest act of courage can illuminate a human life. A single decision to keep going, a single moment of kindness, a single choice to rise again after falling. These small lights may seem insignificant, but in a world that sometimes feels dark, they matter more than we realize. The stars do not compete with one another. They simply shine, each one contributing its light to the great canvas of the universe. And perhaps humanity is meant to do the same, not to outshine one another, but to bring light where darkness exists. Because every generation faces its own night, moments of uncertainty, moments when the future feels unclear. Yet time and time again, people rise, they create, they help, they inspire, and slowly, light returns. Maybe that is the deeper message written in the sky above us. Darkness is not the end of the story. Darkness is simply the space where light becomes meaningful. So if you ever find yourself walking through a dark chapter in life, remember the stars. They do not disappear when night arrives. They shine because night has arrived. And perhaps the universe is gently reminding us of something. Within every human being, there is a light capable of guiding the darkness. Sometimes, all it takes is the courage to let it shine.